Two people, same city, same state university, same starting salary of $42,000 straight out of college. They even carpooled to work for the first 2 years. At 54, one of them just booked a one-way flight to Portugal. Fully retired, zero debt, a net worth north of $1.1 million built on an ordinary income. She wakes up without an alarm. She owns her time completely. The other is still at his desk, still trading hours for dollars, still carrying $23,000 in credit card debt across 4 cards, still one medical bill away from a genuine crisis. He earns $94,000 a year now, more than double where he started, and has less financial security today than he did at 25. Same starting line, radically different finish. The divergence didn't happen because one got lucky. It didn't happen because one inherited money or married into it. It didn't happen because one was smarter or worked harder. The divergence happened because of a handful of specific money rules. One of them followed quietly, consistently, without ever earning a 6-figure salary. Rules the other never learned because nobody teaches them. That gap didn't open in their 40s. It didn't open in their 30s. It opened in the very first decisions they made about debt, spending, and wealth decisions that looked small at the time and turned out to be everything. Today I'm going to walk you through the exact debt-free money rules that separate people who always build wealth from people who always wonder where their money went. Before we get into the rules, I want to give you the one idea that makes all of them click. Most people treat debt like a weather event, something that just happens to you. The economy shifts, an emergency arrives, life gets expensive, and suddenly you're carrying a balance you can't seem to shake. It feels external, out of your control, but here's what the data actually shows. The Federal Reserve's most recent survey of consumer finances found that households who carry persistent debt, not temporary debt, but chronic, revolving, never quite gone debt, share one specific behavioral pattern: not low income, not bad luck. A consistent failure to treat debt repayment as a non-negotiable fixed expense. In other words, debt doesn't persist because life is hard. Debt persists because most people negotiate with it monthly instead of eliminating it structurally. The people who build lasting wealth on ordinary incomes, and there are millions of them, quietly don't have more discipline than you. They don't white-knuckle their way through temptation every weekend. They built systems that made debt impossible to accumulate and wealth impossible not to build. That's the reframe. This isn't about restriction. It isn't about living on rice and spreadsheets. It's about designing a financial life where the right outcome happens automatically whether you're paying attention or not. That's what these rules do. Each one removes a decision. Each one closes a door debt uses to re-enter your life. And together, they build something that feels less like discipline and more like inevitability. Rule 1. Pay yourself before your bills, not after. Most people save what's left after spending. Wealthy people spend what's left after saving. The order of operations is everything. Set an automatic transfer, even $200, to leave your checking account on payday. Before you see it, before you touch it, before your brain decides it needs something. Over 25 years at a modest 8% return, $200 a month becomes $190,000. The math doesn't care about your income. It cares about your consistency. Rule 2. Never carry a balance you cannot eliminate in 30 days. This is the single rule that separates people who use credit cards from people credit cards use. The moment you begin carrying a balance, you are paying 20 to 29% interest on purchases that have already lost their value. That dinner, that jacket, that weekend trip, you're still paying for them months later while they deliver zero ongoing benefit. Treat your credit card like a debit card with rewards. If the money isn't already in your account, the purchase doesn't happen. Rule 3. Build your emergency fund before you invest a single dollar. This sounds counterintuitive. It isn't. Without 3 to 6 months of expenses in a liquid, separate account, every unexpected cost becomes new debt. You're not building wealth. You're filling a bucket with a hole in it. The emergency fund is the hole. Close it first. Then every dollar you invest stays invested instead of getting pulled back out. the moment life happens. Now here's where I'm going to say something most financial channels won't. Paying off debt aggressively is not always the smartest move. There, I said it. If you have a mortgage at 3.5% interest and an index fund returning a historical average of 10%, the math does not support destroying your mortgage early. Every extra dollar thrown at that debt is a dollar not compounding at nearly triple the rate. In this specific scenario, the debt is actually cheap. Eliminating it feels good emotionally. It costs you financially. This is the distinction that separates debt-free thinking from wealth-building thinking. They are not the same thing. Debt-free thinking says all debt is bad. Wealth-building thinking says expensive debt is bad. Strategic, low-interest debt used to acquire appreciating assets is a tool. The rule isn't zero debt at all costs. The rule is zero expensive debt, zero consumer debt, zero debt that funds depreciation instead of appreciation. Your car loan at 8% is expensive debt. Your student loan at 6.5% is expensive debt. Your credit card at 24% is financial destruction. Your mortgage at 3.5% on a property that appreciated 40% is a different conversation entirely. The people who build lasting wealth understand this distinction early. They eliminate every dollar of high-interest consumer debt with urgency and zero mercy. And they deploy the rest strategically, not emotionally. Debt isn't the enemy. Expensive, unconsidered debt is. Know the difference. It will change every financial decision you make. Here's the rule most people never hear, and the one that arguably does more work than all the others combined. Automate the gap between what you earn and what you spend. Here's what that means in practice. Every time your income increases, a raise, a bonus, a side income that kicks in, do not let your lifestyle touch it. Not a dollar of it. Before you see it, before you feel it, before your brain begins imagining what it could buy, redirect 100% of every income. Increase directly into your investment account or debt elimination fund. This is called the wealth gap rule. And it works because of one brutal financial truth. Lifestyle inflation is the reason most high earners end up broke. It isn't that they don't earn enough. It's that every time they earn more, they immediately spend more, and the gap between income and expenses, which is the only number that actually builds wealth, stays exactly the same. The person who earns $50,000 and saves $800 a month is building more wealth than the person who earns $120,000 and saves $700 a month. Every single time. So the technique is mechanical and ruthless. Open a separate investment account your debit card cannot touch. Name it something that means something to you. Freedom Fund, Portugal account, done at 55. Every raise goes there automatically. Every bonus goes there before you decide what to do with it. You will never miss money you never held, but you will absolutely build wealth you never had to think about. Here's the truth about everything we just covered. None of it is complicated. All of it requires that you start before you feel ready. The woman on her way to Portugal didn't wait until she earned more. She started with the income she had and the rules you just heard. If this video shifted something for you, drop a comment below. Tell me which rule hit hardest. I read every single one. And if you know someone still negotiating with debt every month, send them this. It might be the most useful thing they watch this year.